All right. Welcome back to Sports Dump, Lewis County's only sports podcast, sponsored by Elam's Home Furnishings and Mattress Gallery, Gobel Septic, and you guys are going to love this, Americool Heating and Cooling.
Just do that ad right now.
Oh, my God. It's so hot. Can somebody please call our friends at Americool Heating and Cooling? The podcast room has not been ventilated all day. There's no fan up here.
It's really bad.
The thermostat in the hallway, which is cooler than this room, says 97 degrees. It is 8:41 at night. Quite warm. Anyway.
It's just me and my long drink.
Yeah, Josh has resorted to drinking a finished cocktail out of a can he found in the fridge. The ice in my drink long melted. Alec is surviving.
Just making do.
But who knows for how long, so let's go.
All right. I'm Aaron Van Gile, joined tonight by sports editor Alec Dietz and sports reporter Josh Kirschenbaum. And fellas, we have state brackets to talk about and district tournaments to wrap up. Do we want to hit the state brackets first, or are they later down in the notes?
I kind of did it by classification. So
Okay. A little column A, a little column B.
Yeah.
So first up, 2A baseball. The headliner, the front page of tomorrow's sports section. WF West comes back from a 6-run hole to beat Tumwater 11-8 in a 2A district title game. Second district title in the past 3 years for the Bearcats. It's their fifth since 2015. Tumwater led 5-0 after an inning and led 8-2 in the middle of the fourth. The Bearcats got 4 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 3 in the sixth, despite only managing 2 hits in 3 innings. This is just an Elam special. This is harkening back to his Tenino days.
Well, remember when one of us kept talking about how this was a big game because, you were into the bullpens and it was kind of a matter of who had the pitching depth? Mm-hmm. One of us was right.
Was it you?
It was me.
Congratulations. You should be very happy.
Yeah, I mean, so they went into this game with both teams, their top 2 pitchers had thrown the first 2 games and were out. So that's no Hunter Lutman and no Brandon Jones for WF West. And for Tumwater, no Alex Overbay and no Trent Gaither. And WF West had 4 guys who are only pitchers who pretty much hadn't done anything. And they were completely fresh. All of Tumwater's pitching depth are position players, and they just couldn't find the strike zone. Brandon Orem threw 3 good innings and then ran into trouble, and then it was him and a couple other guys, and I think they had 8 walks in 2 innings. It was just, and those 2 hits were a comebacker to the mound that got muffed, and they ruled it a hit instead of an error, and a bunt. So 2 hits that traveled 80 feet.
Yeah.
And it was just walk, hit batter, and it just never stopped.
All right. Tumwater, despite the loss, wound up with the number 2 seed in the 2A baseball bracket announced Sunday by the WAA seating committee. They will host Grandview they're playing at Wheeler Field on Saturday.
Wheeler Field.
Okay.
Lyle Overbay gets to go home.
I feel like he's been there before, yeah. The other matchup in that regional is number 7 Mark Morris versus number 10 Archbishop Murphy. WF West is the number 3 seed. They will face number 14 Port Angeles at home. Oh, they're just playing in Chehalis.
Yeah.
That must be nice.
They can host.
Yeah.
I guess Tumwater's not up to the state standards. So
somewhere else. In the Bearcat Baseball Stadium, a lot nicer.
Yeah. There's more seating.
Yeah.
There's permanent bathrooms. I was talking to a coach about all the different things you'd need.
You have to have a set gate to go in and out of.
Yeah, so they can ticket you. They need a couple things. Permanent bathrooms were a big one, though. That knocks out almost all of the 1A teams. Because I was talking to Tenino's coach, Ryan Slusher, about this, and he was like, not a single 1A team has permanent bathrooms at their ballparks.
Don't tell Gobel Septic.
Yeah, our friends at Gobel Septic. Well, in Tumwater, their field's so close to the freeway, people can just drive by and see what's going on. Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Sela,
that seating makes sense. That's entirely off of, series is still 3-1 in Tumwater's favor.
Yeah.
Right.
But, as we know, it's tough to beat a team 4 times.
Oh, incredible.
Well, what about 5?
Maybe we'll see. I hope we do.
We won't see.
We won't. Well, we will. Just not the championship.
Yeah, right.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Let's just move on.
Sela is the number 1 seed. Do you guys know anything about Sela?
They split with WF West. They have Carter Seeley as their ace. He's bound to go to Scottsdale Community College. Is that it?
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Somewhere in
Arizona.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they played WF West. WF West went to SELA at the beginning of the season, and they split their doubleheader with them. So
The Final Four will be played in Bellingham.
Joe Martin Stadium.
2 weeks from now?
Something like that.
11 days from now, something like that?
Yeah, a week and a half, whatever.
So and the setup is first 2 rounds Saturday. So you win your first game, you play again Saturday. So that's why.
For regionals,
regionals, and then Final Four go through to Bellingham.
Okay. 1A baseball. Tenino gets an early lead and hangs on to beat Seton Catholic 5-4 Friday in a winner-to-state game. They led 5-1 after 5, gave up 2 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th. Seton Catholic had the tying run on with one. Got the tying run with 1 out before Jack Burkhart got back-to-back strikeouts.
They got the tying run to third base with 1 out.
Got it to third base. Okay.
Yeah, and it was crazy. Tenino's whole thing this postseason has been jumping out to leads and then blowing it. Mm-hmm. They almost did it. That apparently that 7th inning was chaotic. Ryan Schlescher got kicked out of the game.
Ooh, what did he say?
He said it was a runner on first and it was a ground ball. I think he said to the third baseman. They tried to turn 2. The umpire ruled that the second baseman dropped the ball, and the umpire ruled that he dropped the ball on the transfer and he got an out. So it would have been 1 out with a runner on, or 2 outs with a runner on first. And then the Seton Catholic coach complained, and they had a big meeting of the umpires, and then they decided that he dropped the ball before the transfer. So there was, so nobody was out, and Schlescher was not happy about them changing their mind at the whim of the other coach, and he said some words he probably shouldn't have said. And then they politely asked him to watch the rest of the game from center field.
Okay.
And then he pulled out a lawn chair, and the very next day in a meaningless third place game, watched from center field again.
That's pretty fun. Was that a suspension thing, or was that just like making a statement?
If you get kicked out, you can't play or coach the next one. So I think Tootle ran into this because they had a player that got in trouble and got kicked out of a game, and they couldn't play the next game. So yeah, I think that's like a standard rule.
Let's see. Tenino is the number 8 seed. They will face number 9 Bellevue Christian in regionals in Yakima. And the other matchup in that regional, number 1 Natchez Valley versus number 16 Kingsway Christian. The Final Four will be played in Bellingham.
So if Kingsway pulls the upset, then Tenino could play them for the 3rd time in a week.
Well, that's fun.
They probably will not pull the upset.
Probably not.
Stranger things have happened.
Natchez Valley, do we know anything about them? Are they good?
The number 1 seed. They lost to Kingsway Christian last year in the state tournament.
Oh.
And they split with Montesano at the beginning of the season. So, but again, I don't know how much you take those early season matchups into account.
All right. This podcast brought to you by Goebel Septic. You guys have any kind words for Goebel Septic?
We love Goebel Septic.
Honestly, feels about as warm as being inside a Global Septic sanitation station on a sunny day right now.
You're absolutely right, Josh. Goebel Septic, providing septic service and portable sanitation for Thurston, Lewis, Mason, Cowlitz, Grays Harbor counties. Septic pumping, inspection, and riser installation, commercial septic pumping, grease trap services, and of course, their hallmark, going to rent you a porta potty and a sink to go with it. Visit Goebel Septic, that's GOEBELSEPTIC.com, or give them a call, 360-736-2167. We got some 2B baseball district recap things that have happened. And I feel like these were like years ago.
Yeah.
Winner to state games. Adna beat Napavine 2-0 in a game that featured 5 total hits. Tristan Percival was the star. Adna pitcher, lefty, went 6.2 innings. Gave up 2 hits, no runs, struck out 15. That's pretty good.
He also his second big game in a row.
Yeah.
Drove the first run of the game in on an RBI double in the first inning, and then Toledo beat Kalama 15-5 in the game that had many more hits. Caden Schultz was 4 of 5, 3 doubles and 5 RBIs. Somebody named Rohan Feigenbaum was 3 of 4 with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs.
You were so shook by that name.
He's only been starting for them the entire season.
He's like at a loss for words there. You were like, you looked at the number 3 and you were like, wow, that name though.
Well, I went to college with a kid named Rohan who's from Nepal, so I associate that name with like a Nepalese fella. And then the last name Feigenbaum doesn't line up with it. And I was like, Interesting name.
Doing all us bombs proud. You go, Rohan.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Rohan. Great game. Toledo scored 7 runs in the third and led 8-0. Then they got 7 more to get it to run rule territory. And then in a meaningless third-place game, Toledo beat Adna 11-4 in Chehalis on Saturday. Gavin Fruing, like brewing, but with an F.
Yeah.
Well, he's under 21, so yeah.
Yeah. Tossed 5 shutout, no-hit innings in relief.
That was only of note because he had thrown 5 innings the entire season up to that point. And, I mean, this was a meaningless game, so that both teams kind of went with their depth. And they were like, hey, you try it. And then he threw 5 no-hit innings.
Yeah, good for him. Bring him out again. Tudor Lake run-ruled Ilwaco 15-1 in the championship. You know what? Good for Tudor to finally get a district title after last year.
It's only been 2 years.
Finally. Let's see. So looking at the 2B bracket, this is just a 12-teamer. So second round games are just like the host region team, I suppose, kind of hosts it.
Yeah.
So Adna plays Cle-Elum Roslyn. It's Shadle Park High School on, Saturday? Mm-hmm. And then the winner plays Chewelah.
Dear sweet Chewelah.
Dear sweet Chewelah. And then, let's see, Toledo plays Coopville at Castle Rock. The winner plays Tudor Lake. Well, that's not much fun.
Yeah, not really.
We've seen that before.
Yeah, I mean, we always complain in the other sports about these brackets always putting teams together that have played, but like this is the one sport where they're like intentionally doing that, and I don't know how I feel about it, but like they are trying to put the teams that are close to each other against each other.
Yeah. And then we got Tenasket Riverview, and the winner plays Tri-Cities Prep in Ilwaco, Northwest Christian Colbert, and the winner playing Brewster. Number 1 Brewster.
Defending state champions Brewster.
Yeah. I saw a picture of them online. Good jerseys. They've got like the white, like 70s look with the red stripe, and it says Bears on it. Pretty sharp. I like it.
It's kind of like their basketball jerseys, I think.
Maybe they're the same.
Maybe
they just have like Velcro sleeves that they can tear off come basketball season.
When it gets really hot, they just rip them off. And like,
I wish I got that right now.
Yeah. And then we got some 1B baseball. Mossrock beat Nacelle 4-3 in 10 innings.
This was literally on the day we last podcasted. The game just hadn't ended yet.
Oh, yeah. Tim Bowes struck out 11 in 6 2/3 innings. Cooper Young got the win with 3.1 scoreless innings. Oh, that's a long game. Jacob Comer won it with a walk-off sacrifice fly.
First time somebody other than Nacelle's won it in 5 years.
Wow. So Mossy Rock is the... Where are they at in this bracket?
Number 7. They're number 7.
Oh, let's pull up the district bracket. What
if you just read it. Well, if you just read the notes.
Well, I wanted to go off the bracket. Anyway, Mossy Rock's number 7. They'll play number 10 Orcas Island in Kennewick. The winner plays Liberty Christian. And Nacelle is the number 5 seed. Controversy, question mark?
Yeah. Mossy Rock beat them 2 out of 3 times, so I'm not really sure why they're behind them. And they won the district championship, so.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, they should have been ranked higher.
Nacelle does have a first-round game against Crosspoint, which is fun because that's a rematch of last year's state title game, but they should have rematched as the 7-10 instead of the 5-12.
Yeah, just weird setup.
Guys, it's awfully hot right now. How would you feel about some cool furniture?
Oh. I don't know. Furniture's kind of warm.
Do they have like self-cooling furniture?
Probably. You should just
Where
go
would they
ask.
have it?
At Elam's Home Furnishings and Mattress Gallery at 1530 South Gold Street in Centralia. Elam's Home Furnishings has all kinds of cool home accents, entertainment consoles, and theater seating. I bet they got some self-cooling theater seating. I'm sure they got some fans they can hook up with. Anyway.
Counterpoint, do they sell saunas? Could we sell this room to Elam's? Could we contract this?
I had pitched an idea to Chad a while back about like, what if you just rent out the podcast studio and people can record their own stuff in there? And now I'm like,
this could be a sauna room.
This
honestly.
is very much. We are just sweating it out in here. It is warm. Anyway, Elam's Home Furnishings and Mattress Gallery.
Our listeners are learning way too much about us right now.
Visit them online at elamshf.com.
Wait, Aaron, which button does the
foghorn?
No, I think it's the orange one at the top.
It's so hot right now.
Good call. Good work. Great work, Josh. Softball season is still going on.
Yes.
Postseason just started, as a matter of fact.
Even though last week felt like sort of the pinnacle of what could happen during softball season.
I don't see how it could possibly get better than what happened last week. The 2B softball tournament is underway. There were some games in Montesano. Alec, you were there.
I was.
Ocosta beat Onalaska 1-0.
Yep.
There was a pitching matchup between Ocosta's Jesse Gilbert and Onalaska's Lisa Liddell. The two of them combined to strike out 32 batters.
Yes. The game took an hour.
That's awesome.
Neither team is amazing at hitting, and they're two genuinely very good pitchers. Like,
first time either of us has gone to watch Gilbert. What's the read on her?
She throws it really hard. It's hard to get good contact off on her, but so she struck out 19 of the 23 batters she faced. Did not walk or give any free passes, and there was one error that ruined what would have been a no-hitter, or sorry, a perfect game. She had the no-hitter, and Lisa Liddell, to her credit, also did a really good job. 13 strikeouts. Like, she only gave up 5 hits, and really in the 6th inning, she I think gave up a double, and then a single, and that was enough to score a run, and their season's over.
Did they pitch to Gilbert?
They did. I think she went 2 for 3. She's good. She didn't score any runs or drive in any runs. It was actually other people. But yeah, she's good. I would not be surprised when the all-league stuff comes out on that side if she's the Pacific MVP.
All right, and then Napavine lost to Raymond South Bend. There's no score list.
I see a final one. I wrote the notes.
Just got back. Raymond South Bend won 12-8. They got off to a really hot start, and Napavine got off to a really cold start. They built up an 8-0 lead heading into the 6th before Napavine decided they wanted to start hitting. And Napavine dropped 8 runs to tie it, headed into the 7th. And then they proceeded to give up 4 runs, and I think went down 1, 2, 3, or maybe it went 4 batters and couldn't respond. But
you said how many strikeouts in that game?
Yeah, there was 1 or 2. A lot more runs in that one. But yeah, so both Onalaska and Napavine are out. For Napavine, this is the 2nd straight season they've lost to Raymond South Bend in the loser out first round of districts. So I'm sure they'll be looking for some revenge next season.
Well, they beat them in the regular season, which was supposed to be their revenge, and now they need more revenge. Also, that's the 2nd time that Onalaska's played Acosta. 3rd? Mm-hmm. All I remember is the first time Jesse Gilbert set the Washington State record for strikeouts
with 22.
With 22.
What? Yeah.
I don't remember.
Because it went to extra innings.
We
didn't hype it up because, Ani's the team we cover.
I know, obviously, Adna is far and ahead the favorites, but that's the type of pitcher that could steal a state spot for a number. First of all, I don't get how they are the number 3 team in that league when they have a pitcher doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
But that's a team that you could at least see getting into the trophy games, the place games.
100%. And getting there. I think, this holds true to what I think we've said all year about this league is outside of Adna, I have no idea who the other bids are going to be. I really don't. We're in districts already, and I don't know. Apparently, Tudor Lake might be good.
I've been saying that.
Have you? It's a little. Okay. Apparently, Tudor Lake might be
that
good.
Long drink, big guy.
Rainier is, solid, but kind of faded down the stretch a little bit with the loss to Tudor Lake. They were in 2nd for almost the entire season and dropped to 3rd. Obviously Toledo is really solid and was a state team last year. So, and then you have to, PWV and Forks were the top 2 teams that finished over in the Pacific side. So, I really have no clue. Is it 5 bids?
I think so.
And the 5th team, I think, has to play a team from up north. I think that's what happened last year, too. I have 0 predictions outside of Adna getting in that I feel confident in.
I think it's just 5 teams straight, looking at the brackets now. 5th team gets in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't, it. It could be kind of nuts outside. I think it'll be pretty crazy outside of the Adna games.
All right, and Josh, you were over in Chehalis for games, correct?
For all of a half hour, yeah.
Do you want to tell us what happened?
So Ilwaco, Toledo's...
Ah, damn it. I had a whole thing queued up.
ads.
Some lightning sound effects.
Yeah.
The ads got me again.
So Toledo's going to play Toledo's playing Ilwaco, and then Rainier's playing Kalama.
Totally
and
botched.
we got 2 innings in, and it was actually really wild because it felt like lightning out there, and then just like looking out from the Kalama Rainier game, the left field foul territory where at Rec Park, because they were playing on the JV field, out that way you get the hills and the trees, and you could just see lightning flashing, just like for the entire first 2 innings.
Were you scared?
I was not particularly scared. It was weird because it wasn't like raining at all. I did get a really good photo. There was just a random guy, like, you kind of look when there's lightning, like, okay, where are the high things? And there's this guy just like walks over, like kind of next to me, and just starts like leaning up against a light post. And you're like, I don't know if I do that right now. Seems like we're tempting fate a little bit. But yeah, and then there was one that was like especially close, and they decided to delay the game for half an hour, and we got out and we hung out for like 15 minutes, and they pulled all the umps together and the coaches, and we thought they were just saying, you know what, screw this delay, let's start playing. And actually they just said, we're going to go home and try again tomorrow. So that's what they're going to do.
Okay.
They will both be back. I think Toledo was up 1-0 in the third. Rainier was down 2-0 in the second, and they will resume those games tomorrow back at Rec Park.
And then the top seeds will join the action on Wednesday at Fort Worth Park, which is going to be Adna. Who's the number 2?
Toodle
Lake, and then PWV Forks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that'll be fun.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
The 2B softball tournament is always really fun and competitive.
It is and has always been one of the great spectacles of Lewis County sports. Just like when they cram all that in there, and then sometimes they've got like the 1B or 1A tournaments at the same time, and there's just
they got the 1As at the same time.
Hundreds of people crammed in there. A lot of like sweaty dudes and sunbirds and tank tops.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
great stuff.
Bucket hats.
Oh yeah, so many bucket hats.
Oh, I got my bucket hat at the ready.
Oh, so
Yeah?
do I. I'm a bucket hat guy. I'm not afraid to admit it.
A lot of wraparound sunglasses in there.
I don't have any of those.
Well, you better pick some up.
I better.
1B district softball is happening. Mossrock played Wishkah Valley in a semifinal.
Unless it got canceled because of the lightning.
I have not gotten the Keith Coleman call yet tonight, so
Okay.
shrug.
They
Guessing
probably,
won.
if they played, they probably won.
The last time they played, they won, I think, 16-0. They scored
Okay.
16 runs on 3 hits.
Well, congrats, Mossrock, on your win over Wishkah Valley.
Probably, yeah.
And then 1A district softball. Tenino's the Evergreen 4. They'll play White Salmon tomorrow at Borst. Wednesday at Borst.
Yep. They haven't played in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it is weird. They haven't really played a lot.
All right, it's time to get into it. Our most anticipated segment.
The Americool ad?
Americool Heating and Cooling. 360-273.
Call them right now.
3300. God, I've never wanted to call a sponsor so badly. Your comfort is their business. Right now, it's our
just
comfort.
like a sheen on my arm.
I'm dripping. So my laptop is hot to touch. Feel it.
Is it still working?
Come on.
Oh, yeah. Wow, holy shit.
I know. This is probably unsafe.
Just as long as it keeps working.
Give me a few more minutes, baby. Full HVAC installation services and repair with a 100% satisfaction guarantee with everything they do. Americool Heating and Cooling. Again,
Just like us. There was a Just Like Us somewhere back in there. I missed it.
360-273-3300. You can call them 24/7 or visit their website, west.americoolonline.com. For
Help
the
us,
love of God, somebody
Help
follow.
us. Help us, Americool, please.
And then anything we forgot in this episode that
I think
maybe
we hit
should
it all.
Follow up on from last week?
No.
You guys want to pigtails?
What, 2As? Oh, 2As, yeah.
2A softball? Is that a thing?
They
we
play
still talk
softball in the
about here?
2A?
Oh, wow.
I was led to believe that a kerfuffle led to the end of softball as we know it.
I thought their season was over and then wasn't and then was again.
WFS Rochester played on, what, Friday?
Friday.
What happened?
WFS won 8-4.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a pretty, not cookie cutter game, but it was pretty by the book. Nothing crazy happened. Rochester kind of made a late, I think they were down 8-1, and they made like a late rally to kind of make it a thing late, but it was a pretty clean WF West victory. They look like the better team.
Okay. And so tomorrow night, WF West will host Mark Morris, the GSHL number 5.
William F. West versus Samuel Mark Morris.
Your boy, Willie West, hosting his arch nemesis.
What does the F stand for? Embarrassing you don't know this.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's got to be like Ford, right?
William fucking West.
I tried to like Google it once, and it just kept saying William F. West. I'm like, what's the F stand for?
William F. Bill West. He was a homesteader in Chehalis, born in 1875. Yeah, I don't know. I've not seen any.
Maybe it's just F.
I bet Brian Mitke knows,
Probably.
but he's not here right now. He's somewhere
Maybe
cool.
you should have him on this podcast.
We'll bring him on next week.
Maybe Isabel knows. Ask her on
she
Newsdown.
also probably knows. Let's see. So the first round games on Thursday, the WF West Mark Morris winner will play number 1 Ridgefield.
Fun.
Who do you think Ridgefield is rooting for in that pigtail game
Oh,
tomorrow?
gee, let me think.
Yeah, maybe the team that they've probably beaten every time this season.
It was close. I actually looked. Last time they played, it was not a blowout, but yeah, still.
Then Centralia plays R.A. Long.
R.A. Long's sneaky.
Are they?
They got their pitcher, Jaden Terry. They kind of were in the Centralia spot. They had to win 3 games to get their spot, and they won 3 games, and she struck out the 55 people in 3 games.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
And then Tumwater will play either Woodland or Columbia River, and Aberdeen will play either Woodland or Columbia River.
Yeah, so get this. I'm going to blow your mind right here.
Wait. How does this work?
So at the end of the season, there was a tie between Woodland and Columbia River.
Uh-huh.
But they had actually communicated how they were going to break that tie.
What?
Hey, more lightning.
Well, that was fun.
So yeah, they actually decided, they let everybody know how that was going to be fixed, and their answer was that they're going to play an extra pigtail game on Tuesday, tomorrow. So actually, both leagues have a pigtail game, except for the GSHL one is for the 3 seed and not to get in, and also they knew it was coming. So those are some differences right there.
They're doing it. They're not just flipping a coin for that?
No, they're actually playing the game.
That is kind of interesting. That
Yeah.
Do they not have like a?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We
But
don't
yeah,
cover that league.
so they I think I saw they're playing tomorrow. So the winner is the 3 seed.
Because,
and
like, if I
plays
were one of those
Tumwater.
teams, how badly do I want the 3 seed? Like, you get to either play Tumwater or Aberdeen. Like, I would rather just not play the game and flip a coin over it if I'm one of those.
I mean,
teams. I'm not getting eliminated, and you're playing.
The weird thing about the bracket is,
Maybe they're friends, though.
yeah. Also, the way
Probably not.
the bracket works, it's less being on Aberdeen's side. Playing Aberdeen is better than playing Tumwater, but if you're on Tumwater's side, if you somehow beat Tumwater, then you have to play Ridgefield or WF West, whereas the Aberdeen side has R.A. Long and Centralia, and I know which half of that bracket I would prefer to be on.
That's true.
Australia, wild card. You don't want to play them.
Well, and R.A. Long is a similar team that hasn't had a whole bunch of success at districts, really. So, yeah, that's going to be a really interesting matchup.
Slow pitch state power.
Yeah. Yeah, that district tournament is pretty wide open. I have heard from the few coaches that I've talked to that Ridgefield is probably the favorite. They walloped Tumwater at the very beginning of the season. They put like 14 on them.
I think it was 14-0.
And then they also beat Rochester in a much closer game, but they hit 3 solo bombs. I think they ended up winning like 4-2. 3 of those came on solo home runs. So they have a lot of power in that lineup. I think they go, like 1 through 8 is like really, really, really strong.
It's a lot like WF West.
I think they got a girl going to UNLV D1. So they're sort of the team to beat, which will be fascinating if WF West can get through Mark Morris to watch kind of. I think Josh wrote this up. WF West has won 9 out of the last 10 district championships, going up against a Ridgefield team that's probably the favorite, and that's in the first round. So that's pretty intriguing.
Any other sports you want to talk about? There's some tennis, some track, some golf's coming up.
There's some golf
All
coming
that
up.
soccer, Tumwater got WF West did not get through its winner to state game. They lost to Hawkinson on penalties, so they're done. Tumwater did. They squeaked out a close win over Woodland. They are playing sometime this weekend. It hadn't been decided yet. somewhere that is not here. They're going on the road. I think I saw they got the 14 seed in the 2A state tournament, so not going to be here. Track is happening. Track happened over the weekend at the league / sub-district / whatever you want to call it level. Now they're going to the district level this weekend, pretty much in all 4 classifications, right?
Yes. Yep. And then, tennis happened last week. Did we get the chance to talk about this?
Not really.
Amari Cisse of WF West won the sub-district championship, league championship, whatever you want to call it. She helped WF West win the team title for the 3rd consecutive season. I think Laura Yip and Caitlin Wood were both runner-up in the doubles round. So
yeah, and they had their second doubles pair got 3rd place, also scored them points.
Yeah. So
Emma Wirasingi, and I'm forgetting her.
Hufid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shocker, WF West good at tennis.
And
it's a country club sport.
Yeah. Well, and so the fun thing about districts is we talked about more lightning.
I feel like you're just saying that now.
No,
no, he's right. It's flashing. You got terrible peripheral vision.
Yeah,
it's all the way over there.
We're sitting in a dark room and it literally lights the room up. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so we complained about girls basketball districts, how WF West had to play Tumwater down in Hudson's Bay, and I mean Ridgefield's the best setup for baseball, but everybody has to go to baseball. The 2A tennis districts are up in Olympia.
Oh, are they like Steamboat?
Yeah, they're at Steamboat. Yeah. And I just I know Columbia River always has a good team, and just anybody down there having to go past Tumwater to play at the further north than any 2A team other than Shelton. Just it's a weird setup. I don't get it.
Also, the Steamboat Tennis Center is not I'm looking it up where it is, and it is not in Olympia.
It's off the road. It's off halfway.
It is halfway to Shelton.
Yeah.
I think they just have to alternate where the home place is, because last year they probably played it in Longview.
Also, isn't it indoors? Is that
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
It's gonna be 70.
I think you just need that option if it is raining. I don't know.
It's weird.
Anyway.
Also, Jack State told me Steamboat Tennis Center, founded by a Centralia alum whose name I'm forgetting.
Really?
Drake something.
Drake?
Okay.
Malfoy?
No, but I'm seeing sweat rolling down your chin right now.
That's Draco.
So we need to get out of here.
Pretty hot, man.
Did we miss a sport?
I don't know. Golf.
Golf.
Golf State's next week, right?
Yeah, Natalie Eklund of WF West finished runner-up at the league championship meet. She finished 9 strokes back of Britt Ratzich. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, of Aberdeen. Scored a 80 on 18 holes at Tumwater Valley.
Which is probably better than you could do.
Tough place to play.
Probably better than what you did over there today.
Is. It's much better than what I did this morning.
Eklund, I think Eklund was at an 89, which is still pretty good.
And there's a girl from Black Hills, I think you said.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was so long ago.
And there's so many names. And then Adna is gearing up for their district stuff. They have 2 growing programs with their boys and girls. I think Braden Salmi shot a 39 at Riverside over 9 holes, which is pretty good last week.
Yeah.
Oh, and 2 more shout outs before we get out of here. At the alumni level, I forgot to mention this last time, but Olivia Dean, WF West alum.
Oh, yeah.
She just got first team all conference in the Big Sky for Portland State. She finished the season leading the conference in stolen bases. She hit 380 something. I think they came a game short of making the NCAA tournament. Cal State Fullerton with Adna alum Haley Rainey did make the tournament. They are going
to
Clemson. So go spring an upset. And I've seen people
Clemson's
a lower seed.
Yeah.
They are beatable.
Yeah. And she's the number 2 pitcher on that team, which
she could play, and they could honestly get out of that regional. It would be awesome to see that. And then your boy Jeremiah Nubby, as a freshman, just won the Big 12 title in the hammer throw with the second longest throw in Texas school history.
It's pretty good.
So that's your alumni radar. People doing
Olivia
things.
Dean's dad, David Dean, was an ad rep at this very paper when I started.
Wow.
And Peyton Lopez on that same team, also a WF West grad.
Yep.
Plays catcher. Pretty good.
Yep. And there was Ashlyn Whalen of
Boise State.
Went to Boise State and had a pretty good year, too.
Yeah.
Rainey's been really good. I was looking at her numbers just because I saw they made the dance yesterday. She pitched She's like their second pitcher. Their first pitcher looks like really good.
Yeah, I think she was player of the year.
Yeah. So, but she's pitched over 100 innings. I think she has a winning record, 85 strikeouts, 1.47 ERA. She's, small town kid, kind of tearing it up at
Nobody
D1
can
right
see
now.
you throwing the like finger quotes up. You have to speak them into existence.
Well, you just called me out. So.
And Dakota Hawkins is doing things at Wazoo. He's their Friday
Dakota
starter.
Hawkins.
He's pitching well.
He'll make an all conference team. I think
He probably will.
He's had a really good year.
They're probably not going to make the postseason. They're out of it by a bit. Haha. But you know who might is UW.
Oh yeah.
You just see this.
Well, Dakota Hawkins did kind of trample on
He
UW
did,
when they
so
played.
you know what?
So
Good.
there is that. What do you get like 12 strikeouts in 7
I
innings?
think it was something like that.
Yeah.
They won that game like 2-1.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, he's had a really good year. It feels like every week I see something of him pop up on my Twitter feed because he's tearing it up.
I talked to him last year at the state softball tournament. His sister was playing for WF West, and he was
Still
there.
is.
And she still is. And he had, in a game like a week before, he was pitching and took a line drive off his shin. And his shin just had a bigger than a softball size welt on it. It was disgusting. He showed me.
Wow.
Really cool. Yeah. That's my story.
That's in-depth reporting right there.
I know. Nice kid.
You know
Good
what's
dude.
not really cool?
This room.
This fucking room. Let's get out of here.
All right. See you guys later.